Daniel here, and I kid you not.
Fear plays such an interesting role in our lives. To quote Robert California from The Office, how dare we let it motivate us? How dare we let it into our decision-making, into our livelihoods, into our relationships? It's funny, isn't it? We take a day a year to dress up and celebrate fear. Fear isn't just restricted to October. Fear is year-round, baby. Especially lately, people are afraid of everything. The new Call of Duty Modern Warfare just came out, and that game has made me immensely afraid, more depressed than anything else. Getting my motorcycle license, that was something that kind of made me pretty afraid. And I have a little story about that today. So I didn't want to let fear motivate me to stay off the bike and not learn motorcycling. I was wanted to be really careful because I'd never done it before. I ride a bike, I drive a car, I'm learning to drive a stick shift car, manual, which is harder than it sounds if you're a New Yorker because I don't even know anyone who knows how to drive manual. Point is, I didn't want to let fear, stop me from doing something I'd always wanted to do, like learning to ride a motorcycle. If you watch my videos, this space looks a little bit different, maybe. I got a new desk. I was born in October, it's when my birthday is, so I figured, hey, let me treat myself. Even the name of my channel is changing. It used to be I Kid You Not. Now, it's gonna be Dan Kids You Not. I feel like we've been a little more personal with one another lately. I do monthly uploads. I tell stories from my own life, and the idea from the beginning was everybody says, I kid you not, and I kind of thought that would be a nice name for the channel, but Dan Kids You Not, I don't know, there's a sense of ownership to that. I'm getting ahead of myself. The important thing today is sharing with you guys the story of how I dropped the bike. The way I got my license is I took an MSF class, the Basic Rider course, which is a 2-day weekend class. You go in on Saturday, you practice, you talk about the theory of riding motorcycles, and you practice clutch control and getting on the bike and balancing, and you get used to the basics, and then the second day things get a little more advanced. And then you take a skills assessment, which is it's basically like a road test at the end of the second day. Getting on a bike for the first time ever in your life, I think, is scary enough. Maybe some people are like, it's no big deal. If you've never been on a bike, or you've only been on a bike just a little bit, or you're like me and you kind of said, I think I want to do that, you could probably understand what I'm going for here. It's just scary to get on for the first time and balance out the 250 plus pounds of iron that's under you. It's even more scary when the instructor that you have loves to go back and forth with motivational yelling and actual angry yelling. Guys, focus on balancing the bike. If you lose your balance, the bike flips over, what's gonna happen? You're gonna play catch the bike. But guys, have fun. Have fun. Be cool, be calm. Remember, you're riding a bike. But remember the constant risk that you could die at any moment. Loosen those elbows, have fun, have fun. But guys, the truth is, if you don't give yourself enough reaction time, you know what's gonna happen? That's you. You just got hit by a truck. Okay, there's a little bit of exaggeration here, I'm not gonna lie, but that's kind of how your mind perceives it when you're sitting there for the first time. You hear people shouting really negative things or really positive things, and your brain kind of just jogs back and forth between one and the other, and you're trying to find that middle ground, but you're so unused to what you're doing, operating all of these different brakes and clutches in different positions than they usually are in a car. It can take a little bit to adapt. I feel like I was one of the slower students in the class, but I was doing just fine, okay? Mind you, I was doing totally fine. I know this because the instructors were coming to me and saying, you're doing a good job, we're watching you out there, you seem really comfortable, just, loosen the elbows. Remember, enjoy it, but don't die. Thank you, sir. I kept saying thank you, sir. They actually got pretty mad at me because they were like, call me coach. If you're gonna call me anything, call me coach. Don't call me sir. We're not sirs. Sirs don't ride bikes. They have to get through a lot of material in 2 days, and they can't be slowing down for somebody who's, bogging down the rest of the group. I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to move along at a decent pace, and I feel like I did. Then day 2 hits, and at the top of day 2, everybody's talking about this figure 8 thing.
Yo guys, it's day 2. Are you ready for the figure 8s? Like, we're about to go out on the course. I don't know if I'm ready for the figure 8s.
Why have I not heard of the figure 8s?
You don't know the figure 8s? Dude, the figure 8s, how do you not know the figure 8s?
Just going around in an 8? Like, why? It's tight turning, right? We were doing tight turning
yesterday. Dude, the figure 8s are tough. Did you not, mentally prep for this last night? Because all night I was prepping for the figure 8s.
No, I wasn't thinking about it last night. Should I have been thinking about this last night? You're coming into the first turn and you gotta look way over your shoulder and you're counterbalancing and you're clutch controlling and then you're okay and then you come over here and then you do it all again and you're looking way over your shoulder as you turn. I did them just fine. I did them so good that was one of the moments where my instructor, the second time I did it, I was perfectly in the lines and he said to me, you sure you haven't done this before? That was great. Nice job, man. No problem. Now it's skills assessment time at the end of the second day. We've been through riding all morning long into the afternoon. We're getting tired. Now all of a sudden everybody's really psyched up. Oh, skills assessment is coming. The skills assessment. gonna assess our skills. It was getting in my head, and I was letting it psych me out. We're right before the assessment, and our coaches are giving us a little refresher. They're saying, before we do the assessment, we want you all to go around one more time, and we're gonna do a tight turn, we're gonna do the figure eight, we're gonna do clutch control, we're gonna do some weaving, all the things that would be, no doubt, on the assessment. We all get in a line on our Honda Groms and Rebel 300s. Those are our learning bikes. I'm on a Rebel 300, and I'm somewhere in the middle, and this thought comes into my head.
I'm gonna drop the bike.
This is where fear took over. I could see myself making the left out of the line, going over to the figure eight, the same one that I did this morning, making that tight U, and then on a first tight U-turn, just leaning too far and dropping the bike. And I said, I saw it all happen in my head. I saw it. It's not gonna happen. I shook it off. That's not gonna happen. I went out, down the line, made the left, approached the U-turn. And what do you think happened on that first U-turn? I don't think I'm ever gonna forget that moment, that fall. Being on the way down, saying to myself, damn. For those of you who are making fun of me because I feel like there's some people watching who are more comfortable on motorcycles, I will say my first instinct when I dropped the bike was to push the engine cutoff switch, which I did.
Whoa, are you alright? The engine's off, coach. I killed the engine.
Good, you killed the engine. It's good memory, good job. I let fear get so far in my head that it motivated me, and I know for a fact that's why I dropped. So if you happen to be going for your motorcycle license or anything you need to pass a test for or something along those lines, don't let fear play a part in it. Leave it at home. Let everyone else talk and let everyone else be afraid, but not you. Don't feel it. Funny enough, after I dropped the bike, my nerves went away, so I was able to go into the skills assessment with a pretty level head. Granted, there was no way I thought I was going to pass that thing. I pretty much had given up all hope on that, and I was okay with it. So you can imagine my surprise when at the end of the skills assessment, our coach came and surprised everybody with a special announcement. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got good news and bad news. Which you want to hear first? Bad news? The bad news is the DMV is closed on Sundays. Good news is you all passed. And to tie beating fear in with one more quote from Robert California. At the end of the day, once you failed, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off. You have to be able to say to yourself and the world, I'm fine, bitch. I'm fine. Over there. Why are you holding the clutch like that? You're holding the clutch without your pinky? You put your pinky over the clutch. We're not here drinking tea, all right?